What's up, gamers? How you doing? It's John, Games31. I want to dive right back into the Analogue Pocket handheld, which I have right here. I did a video when this handheld first came out a little over a year ago. I've fallen in love with this thing. When I'm on trips, I take this all the time with me. This is really the way I play retro games, I'll be honest with you. It just feels so good. The way it feels, the size of it, it's perfect. It throws me back to playing the original Game Boy. And for those who are curious, this is an FPGA Game Boy console, first and foremost, right? So you can play Game Boy games, Game Boy Color games out of the box. You plug them in, they'll play it, read it. It is FPGA, so because it's FPGA, it will upscale it. So it looks really good, really sharp on the screen. Battery life on this thing is phenomenal. You can hit the sleep button. You can walk away for weeks if you want and come back, and it's barely drained the battery at all. It's lithium battery and it lasts a long time. It's got a USB-C charge on the bottom and it charges super quick. That's really cool. It does have some adapters you can purchase for games. So for example, if you want to have a Game Gear adapter, you can play Game Gear games. There's a Lynx adapter, TurboGrafx 16, and a Neo Geo Color and Neo Geo Pocket adapter as well. So you have some of those games in your library. If you have any of those games and you have any of those adapters for this, this is truly the best way to play your game, right? So if I'm shopping in a video game store, for example, I'm looking for a Game Boy game, I'll bring this with me, I'll plug it in, test it. This is really the best way to do that. Again, the best way to play it. Because it's FPGA, it has a micro SD card, and you can load ROMs and play other emulators on here. And the emulators are awesome, and they're updating it. They're always updating the firmware on it, and they're always adjusting it and making them bigger and better. It is community driven, really phenomenal. So that's really the point of this video, is to show you some of the emulators and games you can play on this. What this thing can do. This can play main games. It can play Super Nintendo, Genesis. I mean, you'll see here in a second, and it plays really well. There's one emulator in particular, the Game & Watch emulator looks phenomenal for Nintendo Game & Watch, right? Or the Tiger handhelds, looks really good. I'll show you that in a second. In case you're wondering, why is it green? This is what they call the Glow version. The Glow version is limited edition. Obviously, this retailed for initially $220 US, as most versions are. There's also typical red and black version, and then they have the color versions as well as transparent color ones. They all sold out super quick on Analogue. I remember when I wanted to pick up this, they'd make an announcement on their social media. I go online and I try to get it. It was out of the box. I tried it, or out of the cart. A lot of issues purchasing it. I finally was able to get one though, but they sold out super quick. They did recently release an aluminum version, or aluminium, however you want to say it. But those are, for some reason, $500 US, so over twice the price. I heard they're a lot more heavy as well. I've also heard that they also run kind of hot. I don't have one. I can't confirm that one way or another, but there's been some issues with it. But yeah, over twice the price. I think $220 is a perfect price point for this. $500 is really expensive, to be honest. So I'm going to turn this thing on. I do want to mention also, good thing to mention, there is a dock you can purchase separately. You can dock it through USB-C in the very bottom. I'll be honest, the dock's okay. It's functional, right? You can connect wireless Bluetooth controllers. I like the 8-bit though controllers, for example. The Super Nintendo one works great for this. It connects no problem through Bluetooth. However, if you want to exit the game, you got to hit the home button, which makes sense. But if it's docked, there is no command on the Bluetooth controller to do that. So you have to pretty much take the handheld, take it out, hit the home button, exit, dock it back in. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Not a huge issue, but it's a pain at some point. D-pad's not great on this thing either. That's one other gripe I have. The D-pad could be better. Other than that though, buttons work great. Feels really nice. Got a great weight to it. Perfect size. Literally, I can put it in my pocket. Battery life, like I mentioned before, amazing. So without any further ado, let's take a closer look at some gameplay. Let me know what you guys think. If you have one, let me know what you guys think, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay, let's take a closer look at this real quick before we show you some gameplay. For those who missed my first review on this, just briefly, this is your home button. Start and select your action buttons, D-pad, shoulder buttons, and they got a game plugged in the back there. Really nice weight to a really good grip. This on the side here is where the micro SD card comes in. Micro SD cards can go up to, I think, a terabyte or more. I mean, you can put a lot on there. Just load them. And there's firmware updates on Analogue's website. You can just load that on here as well, and it will update it automatically once you plug this in and boot it up. This is your power button here and your volume. Quick boot up. You got of course, your percentage here of what battery life is left. I go to library, reference level database, catalog, etc. Open FPGA. I'll show you that in a second. You got memories, tools, and settings. Let's go to play cartridge. Right now it's detecting Donkey Kong Land 2. Game details, memories. Now, if I hold the home button and hit the different D-pad here, left and right, watch what happens. There's original Game Boy, there's different filters. Real Game Boy, this is Game Boy Light. That's cool, it kind of matches the look of the green. That actually looks really good on this. Neon Matrix, I guess looks like more like Virtual Boy, which is odd. And that's it, right? So, now, to exit, hit the home button. I can go to exit cartridge. Let's do that. Let's go to Open FPGA. This is where I have it now filtered different files in different categories, right? So I have arcade, arcade multi, I have computer, console, handhelds, and other. Other would be like Flappy Birds. We all know that game. It's okay. Let's go to arcade. There's a handful of arcades I have on here. They're all alphabetical. I can hit left, right, and it kind of scans it a little quicker. Let's go to multi-K. Let's see. They've got Capcom, Sega. Let's do. Oh, look at this. Konami, Simpsons. Let's check this out. Run it. Just run it. There's loading. I'll turn the volume up. Add some credits. I can do CRT, Trinitron, normal. Kind of shrinks it down a little bit. Pretty loud volume. The volume speakers are both sides here. That's interesting. Okay, let's quit. Go to Open FPGA. It takes you, when you quit, it takes you all the way back to the main screen there, main menu. I'll show you Genesis. There's 3 different, I can change the core. There's 3 different cores here I have for it. We'll go with the spiritualized one here. We'll run it. And these are all, everything's alphabetical, right? And I can go back here. I got different folders. I got US, Japan, Europe, unlicensed, Sega 32X, homebrews, translations. Let's do 32X back. There's no games on that. Let's do US. Let's do one of my favorite ones. Trinitron, normal. I love Outrun. That's a great port. Let's do passing wave start.
Get ready.
Pretty good volume. Really good arcade port, by the way. Drive a Ferrari. The screeching sound they don't have in this, which is interesting. Oh, there you go. There it is. Guess I wasn't going fast enough. Okay, we're going to hit pause, because if you don't hit pause, go to home and still getting to play it. Core settings, I do display mode, region, button settings, etc. You know, load raw, region, etc. Memories, screenshots. You can do screenshots. Console, tell Neo Geo. Let's run a Neo Geo game. I was doing baseball stars. What's cool is when you do load a game, even if you turn off the system, it's going to automatically show up the last game you played. So I played Baseball Stars 2 recently. Let's do a fun one here. Windjammers. That's a classic one. If you haven't played Windjammers, it's a little bigger file, so it takes a little bit longer to load. Still fairly quick. I'm not sure if this is the AES or MVS version of it. Check out. It's like a great version of Pong. Essentially, the best way to explain it. So you're trying to get it in his goal. Anyway, super fun game. Highly recommend if you have an Neo Geo. Definitely recommend it for sure. Okay, go back to Open FPGA. But check this out. I got different categories. I got PAL. I got unlicensed. I got Neo Geo Versus System, PlayStation 10. So if you go to Versus, let's see. Super Mario Brothers. This is the Versus button. I can check the settings. This one is actually much harder than the home version of it. They've taken away some extra lives and they make it a little more challenging. That screen, really, in my opinion, looks super brilliant. And you have different prototypes, things like that. So go to prototypes. California Games prototype. This game was never released officially in front of the NES. It's on here. That's nice, cool about emulation. You can play games that were never initially released. I remember when these California raisins were super popular. I think Capcom made this, potentially. No fall damage, fortunately. Ah, but I did die. Star Fox. Which is classic. Good luck. This game brings us so many memories. Gets the ring. I used to play this and Pilot Wings a lot when these were like early titles for the game. Super Game Boy. Let's see what happens. That's cool. You're playing a Game Boy within a Game Boy. It's got the border. You guys, next game is Castlevania. I don't think Super Game Boy was a really genius idea, because if you had a Super Nintendo, it really helped expand the library of getting Game Boy games. It was a cool crossover. Pretty genius. Later on, Nintendo did the same thing with the Game Boy Advance and GameCube. Had a few color palettes to it, not much, but there are some color Game Boy specifically games. TurboGrafx CD. This is the Japanese version for the, I guess, PC Engine CD, technically. Snatcher has a huge following. Act 1, Snatch. Pretty hard to play in Japanese, I'll be honest. I don't speak Japanese, so I don't know. But I remember playing this on Sega CD, I believe, for the Sega CD. And it's a great game. But yeah, cool. So yeah, TurboGrafx CD or PC Engine CD does work great on this. Let's go check out handhelds. Game & Watch. Check this out. Okay, so there's a bunch of different Tiger games. Remember those Tiger handheld games? So let's check out one, for example. One I had growing up was... Let's check out Street Fighter 2. I had that growing up. How cool is that, right? The LCD. Okay, so, yep. Man, these are so basic. I don't know how Tiger got these awesome licenses to do these amazing games, but these games are so basic. Who am I playing even? Zangief? Ray versus Zangief? Uh-oh, you got me. What is going on? I don't even know. That is wild. But I remember playing Tiger handhelds all the time, man. They had some really good licenses. They had Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's see if I have that on here. No, I don't. Jurassic Park, let's check that out. Oh, I definitely had this one, I think. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to run? Guy's like waving at me, like, don't. I have no idea what's going on in this game. I don't know if you guys know, let me know. That's pretty wild. But that's cool. It does a board and everything. Brilliant. Check out Game Boy. They've updated this recently with this particular build as well, where you can now do this with these ROMs. So let's see. I got the normal. It's pretty good. Get kind of the pea soup color, which is about right? You also have CRT, grayscale, original grayscale with like the scan lines, original GP, okay, and then you got the Game Boy Light, which was a system that came out in Japan, had backlit, which is cool, reflective color LCD, original Game Boy Color LCD, a lot of matrix, a lot more options on here than you actually have on the cartridge, which is interesting. I like the Game Boy Light. That looks kind of matches the console color itself. Crazy this game was ported to the Game Boy. Oh man, Orchid. Hard to do combos in this game on the Game Boy with 2 buttons, right? This one you can't change the settings. I feel like the Game Boy Advance had a little bit bigger screen. It's a little smaller than what I'm used to playing on this, but Toad's my favorite. This is a great Mario Kart game. It's like one of the... Came out after, of course, Super Mario Brothers for... Super Mario Kart for Super Nintendo. But yeah, this is a great one. It's kind of like Super Nintendo follow-up. But it's got kind of the Mode 7 graphics. Yeah, pretty cool. This definitely took advantage of the color. Great port of the original Mario Brothers, but they actually had an open map here, which is cool and very interesting. And you can go backwards. You couldn't do that in the original one. It's a little bit more zoomed in. Let's end. Yeah, things like Pokemon Mini as well. It's mini. There were kind of mini things that came out. Let's check it out. Like Tamagotchi, almost like those mini animals, the digital animals from the 90s, almost like that. Came out in early 2000. Let's see what's round one. They're really tiny though, I remember that. Okay, obviously I lost a race. Oh, obviously I'm not doing it right, but you get the idea. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I do recommend, if you're able to get your hands on Analogue Pocket, hopefully they're going to release more. Hopefully they're not just going to sell the $500 version of the aluminum version. Hopefully they release more of the 220 version, because if you have a chance to get one and you don't, I would recommend it. Thanks guys for watching. Thanks for leaving a comment. Thank you for subscribing as always. We'll see you guys soon. Take care, and of course, game on.